Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' HTV in the Diecast Lab. Guess what? We have started a new build-along. I was looking in my video history and I don't have a complete series on how to build up a W900. So that's what we're going to do. I have two W900s to trick out. I just got an order for these two, returning clients, so he gets moved up to the top of the list, and I'm going to give him a little hand here. So I promised I'd get them done later this year after the holidays, but we'll do a build along here and we'll get them done together. So that'll be kind of cool. And this is a good one to start with because guess what? It's basically a strip and paint. So repaint decals and stuff like that. Not a whole lot of extra parts, which is kind of nice, especially if you're going to watch and then do one of these yourself. So let's see here. We have login self. Nice. All right. Good, good. And he says yellow. I'm not sure what that is, but Cal is here. Good to see you, Cal. I got to get the paint, and I'll show you the paint while we're waiting here. We're going to start at 8, so just bear with me a moment. Here it is, right here. Yeah. Yep, this is it. So here is the color, and you really got to shake this one up. Okay, so we have Radiant Fire Metallic. That's going to be the fenders on this rig, and then this other color called Dark Gold Metallic. They look really good together, although this stuff here, you really have to shake the snot out of it to get it really mixed up. But I mean, obviously, we're not going to worry about that now. But if you're curious, Radiant Fire Metallic is N3262, and those are DuPont paint codes. And then L406H68HL. L4068HL. That's the dark gold metallic. If you wanted to play along, you'd have the right colors. So N3262 is Radiant Fire Metallic, and then you've got the gold. So we're going to just set those back here. What are you going to need to do this build along? Well, you're going to need some basic tools to kind of get us going. You're going to need a flat-sided side cutter, an X-Acto knife, something like this, an X-Acto knife. You'll need a tiny Phillips. What else do we need? I like to keep a sharp poker around. So this is just a screwdriver. It was a Phillips screwdriver that rounded off the head, you know. So I just took it to my sander and see how I got that nice sharp point on there. I love to save these parts as much as I can, because to go out and buy OEM parts on eBay and stuff, man, that adds up in a hurry. Anyway, so I try to save them. Anyways, long story short, I take these and then I push parts from the inside out so you can save the parts as much as we can. That just saves us money down the road. So it's a good thing to do, and it's a good way to make use of a goobered up screwdriver. Okay, we got about 5 minutes here before we kick off. Oh, you're also going to need a parts bin, which I didn't get out. Let me see, that's my frame bin that I didn't put away. So you're going to need a parts bin to put all your parts. Like I said, this is going to be a two-tone repaint. So we're going to strip it down. Frame does not get painted, which is kind of nice. I like it when I don't have to paint a frame. Not that it's hard, it's just more steps in the process. Although Radiant Fire, I have to go back and look. You know, now that I think about it, I don't recall if I painted that frame or I didn't. Shoot, I should have looked at the photos before I went live, but we'll have it next week. So tonight we're just going to tear down and then get the parts in this paint stripper, and then when I'm not looking, or when you're not on, I'll go ahead and clean up the parts so they're ready to prime next week. So, like I said, this is one of those projects that if you haven't done it before, you need a little confidence, great one to start with. And if you don't want to do a whole diecast promotions repaint, if your paint skills, if you're really worried about your paint skills, then don't paint. I think I paid, what did I pay for these? I bought a case of these tractor trailers I think I gave 75 a piece for them. And basically, I bought them for the trucks, and then the trailers are for sale on my website. But I wanted the parts trucks. So if you don't want to spend better money on, I mean, you'll probably pay 60, 65 for this on eBay, and most dealers will have this around that 60 range, and then you'll have to have it shipped to your house. So if you don't want to spend that kind of money on one of these, just go get you a cheap Ertl, anything, or a spec cast, something you could spend 10 to 20 bucks on, and then that would be a great way to practice. And what you'll get practice on is taking it apart, stripping it down to bare metal, priming it, cleaning it real well, priming it, and then doing a two-tone paint job. Great way to practice on cheap trucks. And I would tell you on paint, the more you spend on paint, the better results you'll get. What will happen is, it happens mostly when I use like this. I still use this stuff, but if I have a paint error, like the paint vomits on me somehow, going on with the second coat or third coat or clear coat, it'll happen when I use this stuff here. I tell you, since I have upgraded paint right here, I have very little trouble with paint. I mean, it is rare that I have just the paint totally puke on me. Pretty rare. But, when I got started, this is what I was using. And then I would use Duplicolor. And then I would use like Model Masters and Testers. And then I started buying automotive paint that was matched to the VIN of vehicles. And then last Christmas, right before the new year, we kicked over into 2020. I bought an airbrush, and that's been a game changer. Okay. Matt's here. Good to see you, Matt. All right. Okay, well, we got a minute here. I think we could probably get going, don't you? Let's just get it going. All right. So I'm going to put my paint away so it's not in the way. There. Then we're going to go ahead and, oh, there it is. Turn the phone around. We'll listen to my dog bark out there in the yard. I don't know what's got him all upset, but he's mad. All right, so we're only going to work 30 minutes. In that amount of time, we're going to have these two taken apart. So what I like to do is I just start from the front and work my way back. So we're going to pull off this bumper first and get it out of the way. I just like to have them out of the road all the way. And they're easy to remove. Just the blade between the, here we go. Let me see, I got to get there. Now you can really see. Blade between the die cast and the fender. Just kind of twisting that out, and look at that. We kept both pins, hallelujah. Next, this is where this tool right here works very well. If you don't have this tool, I have these in my store, rockinghfarmtoys.com. It comes in a builder's kit, kind of like a basic beginner tool set. You can do a crap ton of models with just these basic tools that you buy in that kit. So all I've done here is I've taken these flat-sided side cutters, went between the die cast, just squeezed between the die cast and that pin, and now I'm just kind of wiggling that out gently. LJ says, hey, good to see ya. Thanks for shopping. Thanks for coming and watching. Okay, now I don't get too aggressive with these stupid pins. I'll tell you why. I have in the past broke off those hood, the arms that hold the hood to the die-cast body, the pivoting arms. Hinge, the hood hinge. Golly, that was painful. Okay, so I just kind of gently pull that out, not getting too aggressive with it. I don't want to break them. I've done it, not a lot, but enough to where you say nasty things. Okay, and then you heard that little pop there between, by squeezing. That's what's going to happen. And we're just kind of wiggling and twisting and pulling. Just getting it out of there, not in a hurry. We don't need to be, we got time. Okay, that's it. We're going to set the hood off to the side and continue pulling off the rest of these parts. We'll come back and clean that up in a minute. Next, we can pull off the the cab. I mean, you could do the sleeper or the cab, really doesn't matter at this point, but we'll just do the cab. Now, on this particular truck, the exhaust is in the sleeper, not the cab. So, some of them have the exhaust on the cab. I don't know why I'm doing the cab first. I don't know that I ever do the cab first. I always think I'd... Ooh, there it goes. There's a screw in the bottom of that. Now I'm going to pull this screw out. I'm going to set it to the side because... And I'll show you why. So I'm just setting it off to the side for now. If this thing does not come off nice and clean and fast, just take a deep breath. You may need to come over here and just pry out this pipe in the firewall. Not a problem, it'll come out. That will help free the cab from the... Okay, and if the engine comes out, don't worry, we can always glue that back in. Okay, next, we set this cab off. Oh, so I don't get my screws mixed up. I don't know why Diecast Promotions has to use two different sizes of screws. I mean, it should be fairly obvious which one goes where, but now, guess what? No guessing. We have Garrison. He says, hello, hey, back to you. Avery's here, well done. Have you ever tried to fix the broken hinge? LJ asks, no, I haven't. I usually just go out to eBay or something and buy another hood. I mean, I'm at a point where I can do that, you know? I mean, I know some guys that will fix those, and I'm just not, I don't have to fix them, so I don't. Okay. Now you'll notice this exhaust right here is all plugged into the mufflers. There's a little bit of glue holding those in, so you kind of got to twist them out, or what you can do, here's another little trick. Just get your knife in between that exhaust. Now, I'm not, you know, swapping parts here. I'm doing total repaint, so I don't care if I scuff paint at all. And we're just gonna get in here. See how I did that right there? I'm just twisting gently. Let's pull that off like so. Set the frame off to the side and replace that screw just so it's handy. Set that down. You know, on this particular truck, I used this exhaust just the way it is. I could actually leave that if I wanted to. But you wouldn't learn anything if we did that. So, what I'm going to try to do is not break off that plastic pin in the muffler. Oh, and I did. Okay, well. So I was just going to try and wiggle that. Sometimes you get lucky and you don't break them. And then other times, see, that one didn't break. See? Look at that. Save that one. Broke one, not the other. Fair enough. Okay. Now we'll go back and punch out this hood. I haven't done this in all of my recent videos, and I think it's a mistake, frankly. It's a good thing, good practice to be in. Disassemble your stuff on a rag. That way, if a headlight or turn signal kind of accidentally pops out and zings away, it doesn't slide off onto the floor or get lost. At least if it hits this fabric, you know, you have a better chance of finding it because it'll hopefully stop and not bounce away. I'm going to go ahead and I'm cutting the inside pin plastic away. Again, I don't care if I scrape the paint because this is getting stripped. So we can be a little bit more aggressive. So I'm going to do that on the turn signals, both. I'm going to come back over here, do it on the headlights. There's just a tiny little piece of plastic on the back side of the headlight you can cut away. Doesn't have to be glamorous. This will just help you. And then these two plastic pieces here, there's a pin here and a pin there. Here a pin, there a pin, everywhere a pin. We're going to cut that plastic out just like that. Do that on both sides. Okay. And then finally you have your grill and this wire mesh behind it. Just gonna get the knife in there. This is where if you have an X-Acto knife with a nice thin blade, guess what's gonna happen? You can sneak in there and okay. Yeah. Now, don't get too crazy. Ow! Woo! Watch it! Yeah, that was live. Awesome. Sometimes in China, they'll use a little more glue on Friday or Monday than other days of the week. And so you don't want to get too carried away twisting, and obviously don't get too nutso and poke yourself in front of everybody watching. That's not real good. Okay, I mentioned before we got going here this sharp poker right here. Again, this is just a screwdriver that the Phillips part had rounded off, so I just took it to my sander and made it nice and pokey. And here's why. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to find that pin, I'm going to push that turn signal out. Just like this. Okay, see how that happened? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so nice. Okay, there's another one. Aren't we happy? Yay! And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oh, well, look, see how that headlight just kind of popped out of there as I pushed it? Oh, come on now. Don't be stubborn. You want out of there. Okay. And we've got both headlights. Okay. Now, for some silly reason, these dumb things here give me more grief than anything else. Hopefully tonight I don't get grief. But I found that pin already on the inside. I'm just going to push that out. Maybe I found it. Am I pushing on the die cast? Probably. Let's start with the top one. I can see that one easy. Come on, you. I don't know why these things are so hard. They just cause me all sorts of grief. And I really hate to slip and then shove this sharp poker in my hand or finger or some other place. Oh, and then I'm not even in the shot. You can't see. See, look how hard I push on that. It still didn't want to come out. Whoops. I've already taken 2 of these apart, and on this particular model, it's like, holy crap. They really didn't want those to ever come out. So, just for fun, let's try this. Ah, that was too much. And I believe this bit is a 3/64, if you're wondering. I buy these by like the dozen pack or the 20 pack or whatever pack I can buy at toolstoday.com. If you've not paid any attention to my videos, you'll know that I live nowhere near models and supplies. I basically have to buy everything online and have it shipped. Okay, so there we kept one pin. Oops. There we kept one pin and part of the other one. And then look at all that glue. Whoop, doggone it. Look at all that glue right there. No wonder that dude was so hard to come off of there. That was a pain. Holy moly. I'm going to try pushing on this. If this doesn't come out with relative ease, we'll go back and use the drill again. And like I said, 3/64 bit works pretty good on these because it's about the same size as that hole, maybe just a wee bit bigger. That one's coming. Okay, that one's coming. Yay for me. All right. Okay, are you gonna get out of there? Maybe if I push on the plastic, that might help. Or not. Let's try pushing that again. Come on, you. Let go my ego. There it comes a little bit. Okay. Now, let me see. Can you see that? There, now you can see it. See that gap in there? I'm just going to put my blade in here. Gently twisting. Again, trying to keep these pins. If they break, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Like I said, I'm kind of a... Oh, I mean, you just saw what kind of effort I go through to save them dumb pins. I'm a glutton for punishment, really. We're going to do the cab. Going to go in between this floor pan on the cab. And, whoa, watch that fall apart. Or fly apart. There it is. Going to use a plier here to pull the interior out. Okay, it came out real easy. Sometimes there's a little glue hanging it up in there. We'll go ahead and take off the air breathers, air cleaners, and I just put that poker in there. These usually come off pretty clean. They're white, which is annoying, which means I gotta paint them chrome, but oh well, that's easy to do, but just means you have to do it. There's hand grabs here, just your knife between the die cast and the hand grab, and the wire, just twist it out. Okay. This thing is just stuck in the, it's glued into the die cast. There's no way to push it out, so I just try and grab it and pull it, just like that. Sometimes it comes out with a pin, sometimes not. Again, with the mirrors, now I got mirrors with this. I got a set of mirrors to come with these. So, from the factory, okay, yep, they're not coming out at all. So we're just gonna not try and salvage them. Now, make sure when you buy your cabs that you get an extra set of mirrors. I know there are some dealers out there that will take that extra set of mirrors out and sell them aftermarket. So I would not buy from those sellers. I couldn't tell you who they are necessarily because everyone I buy from does, but on occasion. That does happen. Okay, well, this is happy, okay. Knife between the die cast and this door panel. Most of the time on these newer runs, they come out fairly quick, or fairly easy. I've done some old ones. It's like trying to pull teeth out of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Very difficult, and you break them. But these come out fairly easy on these modern ones, or newer ones, and this is a newer run. Okay, I'm gonna go in one of the doors here, one of the windows, get my little tiny screwdriver underneath this. Ceiling trim, pop it out. You know, it's like a lot of these are all popping out fairly easy. This is a good deal. This is good money. We like that. All right. You can carefully maybe push that window out. Might need a tool to give a little more grease, a little more effort. There, that should pop out. Ta-da. And then you have a window over here, but we'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and take this roof cap off. And the reason to take the roof cap off is it's easier to save these air horns and your visor with it off. In my opinion. Which size should you use? I don't know. I just grabbed the first one I saw. We're not drilling all the way through it. We're just taking the head off of that rivet. Yep, that's it. Okay, we've been at this for what, just about 15 minutes? Okay, you have to take, we're going to strip this down, right? So we have to take all the plastic off. If we don't, it will turn to goo. And we don't want goo on these. That would be bad. So pushing that air horn out from the inside out. Sometimes those pegs that are going through the die cast, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to work so hard to take that out. That's stupid. All right, if they don't behave, just come in here and trim off the excess plastic like this. Sometimes that just causes you a little trouble. Holy smokes. Come on. I don't think I'm pushing on the plastic, actually. That should not be that hard. Get out of there, you dirty dog. Man, oh man. That'll make you want to say nasty words. Look at that. Stupid piece of air horn. That just, it always baffles me. It's like, why on earth? Sometimes it's just so hard. And it's just a tiny piece of plastic and a piece of die cast. I've mentioned this before in some of my other disassembly videos. You know, some guys swear by this, and I used to do this very thing. Stick your truck in the freezer for overnight or something. You know, if you're going to take it apart tomorrow, you'd put the whole truck in the freezer. And that is to make the plastic brittle, you know, wherever the glue joints and all that stuff. And yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, so I really can't claim that it helps. But a lot of guys, the guys that do it, swear by it because they say it makes disassembly easy. I'm pushing this out. This particular truck, I'm going to go ahead and take JB Weld and everything and close up that hole on the top. But anyway, that's something for another day. Next, we're going to try and whittle off this visor. And we're just going to take a tiny screwdriver here, get underneath there and twist. Oops. And shove it in my finger. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Can we do it without breaking the visor? Yeah, we can. Here's another little thing. Look at all that glue that was up here, holding that visor on right here. Not so much on this side, but man, now look at a big blob of glue. Whoops, right there. Look at that big blob of glue. That's from the factory. No one's fault, just happens to be the way it is. Boy, it's cozy in here. I've got the heater going. I had to kick off my sweatshirt. Okay. Now, this is probably scary for some people, but get you a flat screwdriver, and there's 2 tabs on your windshield. There's 2 tabs on the roof. Darn it, man, I got to get that camera where I can always remember where you are. And then there's 2 tabs right, actually you could see them right here. 1, 2 tabs here, 1, 2 tabs there. Normally my first choice is to get in there and get right behind that tab and just kind of twist it out if I can. You might need a slightly larger flathead to make this work well. If I can grab the right flathead. And I regret you can't really see this, If this was red or a white cab, you could probably see these. See what I'm doing a lot easier because it wouldn't be dark. Woo! Whenever my screwdriver slips, I get nervous. But that'll be what you got. Again, on some of the older runs, if you happen to get into an older truck, and I'm talking, one that's 10 years old or something, and I've worked on some of those, that glue is crazy hard taking those apart is a nightmare. I've bought a few of them on the cheap, and boy, I wished I'd have spent more money. This right here is a piece of plastic that has to be pushed out. If you don't, it'll turn to goo when you remove the paint. And I just get something blunt and try and push that out. Sometimes they come out really easy, and other times, no. So, okay. Well, we're just going to break out a metal tool here, right? Am I pushing on that? Yeah. Whew! Now, I'm going to go ahead and find a clear one. That's another thing I messed up. When I bought these trucks, I didn't realize that the window here was painted over. That is no bueno for what I do. I need the clear windows. Anyway. You've got 4 hand grabs back here. Just take your knife and twist. They're smaller, so they're a little harder to grab, but they come out real easy. Oh, you, come here. There we go. Okay. This floor here is plastic, has to come out or it'll turn to goo. We got 2 rivets here. For the life of me, I try to drill these out every time, and I normally blow it, but we'll try, We're not quitters here, not in the lab. All right, maybe that's a good place to stop. I guess you can see that's good. See how I wandered off? There. That's why you go slow. Once you get most of that rivet off, you should be able to just pop this out. Maybe you could also take a Dremel with one of these kind of bits right here with your Dremel, and you could probably get a lot more of that die cast out of there. But we're not that serious tonight. Holy cow, man, I totally did not remove enough of that. Okay, well, looks like I gotta go back and do it again. There we go. Now it'll pop. Gotta switch hands here. You can see, that's good. All right, let's just see where we're at here. There we go, pop goes the wheel. Okay, get that out of the road. I like a clean workspace, so I gotta clean my rag off once in a while. Okay, last bit on this thing is we got to take out this window and this window. They've been painted over again, just the way this one was done. There's going to be two little studs, one in here, that two in the corners. You can't see this, but there's one here and one in the opposite corner. You take your knife and just cut the plastic pins off on the inside. Now, if this was a clear window, I would tell you to take a little more care than what we're going to do tonight, because this is painted. There's really no way to salvage that. So if you happen to score the window a little bit, or maybe you were to put a little crease line in it, we're going to cover that up anyway, so no one's going to see it. So you can just take your finger here and push that dude out like I am here. And if you want, take your sharp poker, find that hole, and you can even, ta-da, push it out. And then, now that you don't have a window there, you can take your sharp poker, and now it's really easy. There. Ta-da. And la-di-da. Okay, so now our sleeper is done, and I have to reuse this exact sleeper as I stumble over my words. Our hood is done, nothing left on that. Our cab is finished, there's nothing left there. Double checking. Our roof cap is apart. Wonderful, wonderful. All we got to do now is put it in our paint remover. You'll notice I've already got a bucket load of parts in there. How many trucks do I have in here? I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, anyway. So they're taking this little bath in there, and I don't have to worry about doing any more with this tonight, so I'm just going to let it chill. And I might get my daughters, one of my daughters out here to strip paint. These have been sitting in here since, oh gosh. Well, I just stripped them apart over the weekend, threw them in the lacquer thinner and just walked away because I didn't need them. Here is a Kenworth, no, that's a 359 sleeper, or 389, 379. Anyways. Just kind of get them parts out there, make a little room for these guys so they get nice and happy. There, perfect. Got a couple other odd balls in there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's just lacquer thinner. And then here's a butter dish with holes in it to make a seine, for lack of a better word, colander almost. And that's what I do to strip paint. That works for me because I'm stripping lots of trucks on a regular basis, so having that just all the time ready just really works well for me. Now, I'm not going to say that's the method everyone should use. This is my go-to. This is what I do all the time. I would tell you, and if you haven't watched my video, 4 ways to strip paint, there's 4 really good options for you to consider. Find the method that works for you. It's out there on YouTube or here on my channel. Make sure you watch that video because that'll teach you 4 ways to strip paint. All 4 are effective. So I'm not going to say one's better than the other. You just got to find the one that works for you and use it. So give it a go, see what you think. And and there's other methods out there too that I don't use. So don't think I'm married to anything necessarily. I use that because it's convenient for me. It just works, and I can do lots of them. All right, let's take a look and do some questions here. What you got? Broken Hood in. Javery says, hey, hello. Garrison, hello. Miguel, good to see you. Scott, yes, Scott, I got the frames. As a matter of fact, 2 of them are over there. 1 of them and all the other parts are in there. Matt says, don't Don't forget my W900 green truck. Right. Logging is back, and Avery. I love making custom. Me too. I like replicas. They're fun. Mostly because the reason I like them, one is they have a story. You know, someone drove it, someone's got something. It's a cancer present, you know, or a memorial gift for cancer patient. It's a retirement gift. It's a birthday present. It's something. They have a story, and that's what I really love, because then I get to retell it every time they do, or you know, I get to tell you guys about the stories I do. Anyway, so that's our video tonight. That's the lesson. If you have questions here, I'll take a few minutes here and field any questions you might have. We'll just kind of chill here. Would you build a custom and sell it? Yeah, Joe. That's all of those projects right there, all Christmas presents that I'm rounding up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 left to do for Christmas, and then I'm done with Christmas projects. I got on that action this year, and I cut off early so I don't like being stressed. So I just decided. I quit cutting them off. I just said, nope, sorry, after the holidays. How much do they cost? Well, it depends on what you want. This one right here, I'm gonna hide the logo so you can't see who it is, was $375. Did a lot of body work on this, and gonna put it on a high-end frame. It's got decals, and the paint's matched to the VIN. And I gotta buy some donkey ear stacks for it yet that I overlooked. What else? Let me see. I did one back here. It was like $250, but it was just fender repaint, decals, and some matching parts. And that was nice. And then, yeah, 4 of them there. See, I got a 3-axle 379 over here, a tandem axle dump truck 379, a T800 dump truck, and a 389 tractor for a guy out in Denver. That's going to be kind of cool. And then I got this one over here, goes to a guy in Texas, I think. That one's going to Illinois, I think. That one's going to... Can I read the small writing? I don't know where that one's going. It's going somewhere. All right. Yeah, so 375 is a good place to start. And that would be for repaint, decals, matching parts. And then it kind of goes from there. Depends if I got to do a bunch of body work or two-tone. That's twice the amount of paint. Decals, I hire out all my decals for the most part. I'd say 98% of my decals I buy and from Circus City Decals. He's been doing great work for me, and he did these, and he did, you can't read that. He did those. Anyway, okay, what else you got? Do you ever build a lowered semi? Well, I could, but really you can, because that's not a hard task to do. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. What you're gonna do is, on these trucks, this is a 389/79 frame. You can't see it very well. This is what kind of blows, but you're gonna take this suspension off, or just kind of unplug it a little bit to where the spindles come out. Then all you're gonna do is you're gonna take this wheel, flip it over and put it on this side, and this wheel and flip it over and put it on this side. That's gonna lower your front. And then you can pull these wheels off, and there's a tiny suspension in there. Pull that out, and your semi's lowered a ton. And if you find there are some, they're probably 4 years old now, different trucks that have low pro tires on them, it's ridiculous, but they are a little lower. They're smaller in diameter. I think they look kind of dumb. It's not my thing. But you can buy low pro tires and get them even lower. It's like a millimeter. It's not very much, but to me it's noticeable, but I'm looking for it. So that's how you're gonna lower it. Joe says, what's my eBay? It's Rockin' H Farm Toys on eBay. Michael asks, what's your opinion of climbing prices and quality control Okay, I'm probably not the right guy to ask, Michael, because I don't really collect them. Any DCP truck that enters my shop usually ends up in that paint stripper over there. So I don't care if it shows up broken or not, because I'm going to take it apart anyway. I think if I was a collector and I was going to set it on a shelf and enjoy it, and a $100 truck arrived and had broken stacks, I'd be peeved. I'd be pissed. I mean, I'd be mad. So in that regard, they need to make sure they're giving us a quality product. But for my purposes, I'm usually looking for the cheapest truck I can find so I can take it apart and put it back together. So I don't give too much thought to quality control. It's probably not I'm not the right guy to ask that question. But theoretically, I mean, practically speaking, yeah, they do need, for the cost of these dadgum things, yeah, they certainly need to show up in one piece. I would tell you that, so I helped a guy do a run, and this will just give you a perspective. We did a T800 with a short sleeper and a grain trailer. The grain trailer was new tooling, but somebody else paid for it, so we didn't have to fund that. That was nice. And that tractor trailer set, their cost for 504 units was 47 and change. Now, they ended up purchasing 252 units, and then the other 252 DCP farmed out to their dealer network. And so these guys ended up paying slightly more because they didn't take all 504, right? So they could have got them for 47. They chose not to. So instead, they took 252 at like $52 and change. So that gives you an idea of what those cost. That's what the deal. I don't know what all the dealers. I know the amount of bling that comes on them increases the price by a flat fee, and if there's brand new tooling, usually prices on newly tooled items cost more because they got to pay for that tooling. So once all that tooling is paid for with the first big batch of vehicles run or parts or whatever it is they make, once that's paid for, then you can go back and say, well, I'm going to do a run of XYZ with that trailer, and supposedly, I'm only speaking with kind of coffee shop talk now, supposedly you're supposed to be able to get them a little less. And what little less means, no idea. All right. Okay, guys. Sambo says, thanks, you're welcome. It's 8:40. Yeah, we'll just stop right there because we did the lesson and I don't want to take up any more of your time. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you would do me a favor, if you are in Facebook or someplace and someone says, hey, how do I take apart a W900? And you learn something from this video, make sure you help them, pass it along. That's how we're going to grow the hobby and help more people. I say in my videos, if I make a model for you, I help you. But if I teach you and you learn and you teach 4 or 5 other people, well, I just vicariously help 5 or 6 or 10 people rather than 1, and I like that better. So more people get what they want, and that's a good thing. All right. Diecast Lab, if you want all my content and more access to me, you can go to diecastlab.com, subscribe there. That's the best way to support everything I do. So if you like what I do, go over there and get in my membership site, get all the goodies that I have there, and a little more. So check it out, diecastlab.com. Thanks, guys, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye, God. See ya.